You have to commit to doing something and stick with it. And nobody can do that for you. I can bring you all of this mindset talk. I can bring you all of this tough love. I can bring experts on the podcast, but it's up to you to stay committed and stay consistent. Ladies, Mama Mindset is sponsored by Primally Pure. It is a skincare company that I believe very, very passionately in. I started using their products more than 5 years ago and haven't looked back. One of my favorite products that they offer is their natural deodorant. I guarantee you will not find a better natural deodorant anywhere else on the market. When I started on this journey as a stay-at-home mom, 7 years ago, I went on a long journey trying to find clean products for myself and my family. I wanted to clean up the environment that we were living in, and I stumbled across Primally Pure, recommended by a friend actually, and I haven't looked back. Now, not only do I use a multitude of their products, but my mother uses them as well. So, as a gift to you, as being our sponsor, I want to make sure that you get 10% off your first purchase with them. So please use the discount code Mama Mindset at checkout. Again, that's primallypure.com, discount code Mama Mindset for 10% off your first purchase. I guarantee you're going to love the deodorant. I guarantee you're going to love their products. So go check them out today. Hey, Mama friend, welcome back to another episode of Mama Mindset. I'm your host and creator, Amy Cothran. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will see that I'm in a hotel room in Seattle. Well, you wouldn't know that I'm in Seattle, but you'll see that I'm not at home with my setup in the background. So I am in Seattle. I'm here. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my live, or maybe already have an idea through my posts that I am in Seattle for a doctor's appointment for Olivia. We had the quick recap, I guess. We decided very, very last minute that we were coming to Seattle. In fact, we found out on Monday that we had an appointment for her on Tuesday to see her specialist. And as a lot of you know, it's 6 hours away. So we had to pack our shit super, super fast and get in the car and go pretty much. So thank goodness my parents were able to watch the other two, Gracie and Lily. And, there's so many things for us to be grateful for in this experience, which I can talk about more in a little bit, but I just wanted to explain why I'm here, why this looks different. And also, typically on Thursdays, I have interview episodes, but I wasn't able to do my interview recording because I was in the car driving and I had to reschedule that interview, unfortunately. But I'm again, incredibly grateful that my guests that I have on the show are or have been mothers. So they were incredibly understanding, and she was able to be okay rescheduling, which I was, very grateful for. So instead of not doing any episode, I decided to I brought all my equipment, I brought all my stuff, and here I am doing a recording in the hotel room in Seattle because I made a promise. I made a commitment to myself, and I made a commitment to you, a promise to you, and that's to bring episodes every Monday and Thursday. And I have a community of women that are counting on me, and I'm counting on myself to stick to that commitment. So it's not an option. It's not an option to not bring you episodes. And even if it's not an interview episode, that's okay. And I know that you're okay with that too, because this is going to be very valuable. There's a lot of interesting aspects of me leaving in a last minute way to come here that I want to share with you, and I want to talk to you about. So first, let me back up a little bit because I have a lot to share. I'm sorry that wasn't as organized as I wanted it to be, but Olivia is fine. She's okay. She is healthy. She's great. But as you guys know, I've talked about it a little bit. In 2019, we received a diagnosis on her that she has what they call neurofibromatosis type 1, and it's a genetic disease. However, she didn't get that disease passed down to her from Brad or I. It's what they call a spontaneous mutation. And basically, her genes are missing the tumor blocking mechanism. And so she is susceptible to grow tumors anywhere on her nerve endings, which are all over your body. So she can get lumps and bumps above the skin, below the skin. So we're constantly monitoring her, constantly checking on things, constantly just being aware of any neurological issues. We always monitor her eyesight and her hearing. So we have a lot of specialists that we see, a lot of doctors that we visit, and we're incredibly grateful for that. She's healthy, she's energetic, she's just this spark of life. And if you guys have ever met her, she is her own unique person, and her diagnosis makes her her, and it makes her this absolutely beautiful individual. We have not experienced anything like this. All of our appointments have just been, checkups and proactive appointments to just see where her baselines are and see what's going on. But this time she does have a lump on her shin that we want to get checked out. And if you watched my live, you would know we had the option to come in December or wait till January. And where we live in Idaho, we have to go through Snoqualmie Pass to get to Seattle. It absolutely is not an option for us to drive here in December or January. So we decided to take advantage of the good weather, but we found out that we needed to come to this appointment on Monday. So I'm recording this on a Tuesday. So yesterday we left in just a couple of hours and made the 6-hour trek over. So very, very chaotic, just incredibly chaotic, and a huge pivot, right? Just a huge shift in the energy for our day. But we did it. We made the decision to do that instead of putting it off and waiting. And we're here, and we're incredibly grateful to be here. We're grateful for the help and support that we have. But I want to talk about something really quick. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you would have seen in my stories that yesterday, which was Monday, I woke up and I went for a walk. I was going to do my yoga, and I just thought, I really need to get outside today. Something was just telling me that I need to get outside today. And I got all bundled up, put my layers on, and I went for a walk, and it was beautiful. It was 30 degrees. It was cold, but I watched the sunrise. It was dark when I had started out, and it was light when I was coming back. It was what my soul needed. Absolutely what my soul needed. I came back, made a cup of coffee, had my coffee on the deck, still all bundled up, and continued to watch the sunrise. The girls came out and greeted me. They were sitting on the deck. I snuggled the dog for a little bit because he's a 100-pound lab and he still thinks he wants to sit in my lap. But he came out, and, the girls were scraping off frost from the chairs and eating it because it was so cold outside. But we all got that beautiful breath of fresh air, that fall, crisp, fresh air. And it was a great start to the day. We had biscuits and gravy for breakfast because I was very proactive on Sunday and I made extra breakfast. And so, we just started our Monday off awesome. I started my sourdough, which I've been putting off because we were at hunting camp. So I'm just kind of setting the scene for you for this like beautiful morning. And then I would say it was probably 8 or 8:30 rolled around, and the scheduler for the hospital called me. And we had kind of been talking to them on Friday about, like, do we go? Do we stay? Do we need to talk to our doctor locally before we come? And she called Monday and just said, Dr. Sato really wants to see you. We just think you should come. And then there was the option of, do we do this virtually? But she'd actually be looking at like something specific, not just a conversation. And so we just decided, no, like we have to go. So we packed up everything and left. But I want to tell you, for a lot of women and a lot of moms, that would have been catastrophic. That would have been a catastrophic event. That would have been catastrophic news. That would have just been debilitating chaos. And for me, I was fine. It was okay because, one, like, mom mode kicks in, adrenaline, like this is just what we need to do. But I was able to focus on exactly what it was I needed to get done because I had set myself up for success first thing yesterday morning. Now, I've had a lot of moms talk to me about and ask me, like, How do you plan for life? How do you plan for these shifts and these pivots that come? And oh gosh, that's really loud. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. How do you plan for just things that happen? And I always go back to setting yourself up for success first thing in the morning. And for moms, I think that is so, so important because you're not just taking care of yourself, right? You're not this young 20 some year old entrepreneur who's like, well, like my car broke down today and it's only me. Like, no, it's you as a mom who has 3, 4, 5. I have a friend that has 8 children. So if your car breaks down, it's not just you have to take care of, it's everybody, it's your whole family. I had to pause it for a second because the blower was so loud. But again, perfect example of stuff happening and you just have to pause and pivot and shift and move on. There's so much that I can't control by doing a podcast episode, recording in a hotel room, and that's just life. But hopefully it'll be a little quieter moving forward. But what I was saying is that there's so many other people relying on you. There's so many other people relying on you as a human to get yourself ready and prepared in the morning. So if something happens, if your car breaks down, if you get a call from the hospital and you need to drive 6 hours, you need to be prepared for that at all times. And so for me, getting up in the morning and drinking my water. I take warm water with me on my walks, but I got that done. Now, at the end of the day, when we're traveling, it's really, really challenging to make healthy food choices. It's really challenging to get your water in when you're trying to get to a location as quick as possible. You can't stop all the time and use the bathroom. I've done it. Trust me, I've done it, but I understand how challenging it is. But my point is at the end of the day, one thing that I could be incredibly proud of was that I got my walk in and I set myself up for success first thing in the morning. So I just think that it's so important for moms to understand and for women to understand that you handle stress, you handle seasons in life and chaos that happens in life by your consistency, by doing the tough thing and getting out of bed every single morning and doing your workout and doing your walk. And I understand that not everybody is a morning person. I get that. And I think as a society, we have been told that that's okay, but it's not. As a mom, you need to learn how to be a morning person. You need to learn how to get up and get your shit done before the kids get up because of things like this, things like I'm going through right now. Okay. It's incredibly important. Now, if your kids are older and they're much less reliant on you, I'm talking older, like teenagers, okay? Or you don't have kids anymore. I have moms that listen to this that no longer have kids even living in the house. That's great. You sleep in, you do what you need to do because you no longer have teeny tiny itty bitty children that are relying on every ounce of you for survival. First of all, okay, you have to fulfill all of their basic needs while also for fulfilling yours. So if you can fulfill all of your basic needs in the morning first, check off that box, you've got all your shit done, then you can go forth into your day and fulfill their needs much better, much easier, much more prepared. And that's what I was able to do in the morning. I was ready. I was ready to pack up, 5 suitcases because I had to get all Brad's stuff ready too. He was at work. 5 suitcases, the dog, get the chickens ready, get all their school stuff together, tidy up the house, all of the last minute things that I needed to do for us to get in the car and go. And at the end of the day, when I laid my head down in our bed last night, I knew that I had done a great job that day. And I knew that I had taken care of myself that day, at least by doing my walk. I got my walk in and I did something for myself. So I wasn't itching for alone time. I wasn't itching for something to fill my cup that day for me to do something for myself. I'd already done that. I'd taken 30, 45 minutes that morning. I'd already done that. I had a beautiful morning. I had so much to be grateful for and so much to be thankful for because I did that first. I did that right off the bat. Now, the second thing I want to talk about today is consistency and using a personal example of what I'm going through right now. Consistency. I made a commitment. I made a promise to you and to myself. And I said this in my live also, to bring you episodes every Monday and Thursday. If I make a decision to change that at any point, it's going to be a very well thought out decision to change that. Now, I haven't made that decision. So I was supposed to have an interview recording last night. I already mentioned that. And it wasn't something I was able to do. I was in the car. There was no way around that. And I'm a mother, and my children, my family will always come first. However, that is not an excuse for me to not bring you an episode on Thursday. Is the episode going to look a little bit different? Yeah, obviously. It's not an interview recording. It's a solo recording. But I still told you and told myself that I was going to do 2 episodes a week. Now, that wasn't I'm going to try to do 2 episodes a week. That is, I am doing 2 episodes a week. And I want you to all think about that and do some reflective work on that. And how can you apply that in your own life? Because if you're saying, I think I want to try working out. I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm going to try this workout. You're not going to finish it. Okay. You're not going to do it. You're not going to stay consistent, and you're not going to commit to it. You have to commit to doing something and stick with it. And nobody can do that for you. I can bring you all of this mindset talk. I can bring you all of this tough love. I can bring experts on the podcast, but it's up to you to stay committed and stay consistent. Now, I really think that we grow when we do challenging things and we stick to a promise that we made to ourselves. Okay. I think that that's the best way for you to grow, but I can't do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. Now, it would have been really easy for me to say, you know what? I have this crazy chaos going in my life right now. I'm not able to do this podcast recording and this interview. I could have not brought my microphone, not brought my equipment, and said, it's okay. It's just 1 episode. It's just 1 Thursday episode, and I'll bring another episode on Monday, and I'm not going to skip. But you know what? When I started this, you guys, I was so passionate about bringing you 2 episodes a week. And I want to stick to that, because here's the thing. What would happen if I said, it's okay. It's just 1 Thursday. It's just 1 episode. It's not a big deal. It's going to be that much easier for me next time to say, well, it's okay. I didn't do 1 that Thursday, so I don't have to do 1 this one. And it's going to get easier and easier and easier to break that commitment to myself and break that promise to myself. And all that's going to do is make me feel like shit. All that's going to do is break my heart a little bit at a time. And it's going to validate bad choices. It's going to validate me breaking that commitment instead of doing the tough thing, doing the hard thing, packing up my microphone, getting my equipment here, having Brad take Olivia to do homeschool, and sitting down and getting our recording busted out. Okay. And I have so much to say. I have so much to say to you about this that it's really not that big of a deal, but it would have been really, really easy for me. The easy thing for me to do would have just been, we have too much going on. This isn't possible. I'm just going to skip 1 time. Just skip 1 time. But if you skip 1 time, it leads to skipping another time and then another time. And that's where people fail. That's why you can't stick to a workout plan. That's why you can't stick to these healthy habits. Use making your bed, for example. Okay. I know we've talked about that on the podcast episode before. Okay. The other day, even for me, I looked at my bed and I was like, I don't want to make my bed today. I'm tired. This was when I was sick. I'm like, what does it matter? I'm probably going to get in my bed again anyways, and it'll get all messed up. But I knew if I skipped making my bed one day, I was going to skip making my bed the next day. And then I was going to skip making my bed the day after that. And I didn't want to do that because I want to be the person, my paradigm, okay, my identity is now the person that makes her bed. And if I didn't make my bed, it was going to go against this paradigm and the identity that I've created for myself. And then from there, now I've become the person that doesn't make my bed because I've done it once. I'm going to do it again and I'm going to validate it again. And it just turns into this downward spiral of chaos. And then what? Then I'm saying, I'm making all these other terrible toxic choices as well. Like I'm not going to get dressed today. So it just starts, we talk about momentum, right? Building that momentum. Well, you can also have that negative momentum where I'm not going to make my bed today. It's okay. But you know what? I also really don't want to get dressed today. So I'm going to stay in my pajamas all day. And you know what? I don't care if I comb my hair today. I don't want to do it. And it's okay if the dishes pile up in the sink because I just don't feel like doing it today. You can build momentum in a positive way, and you can also build toxic momentum. Okay. And that is what I wanted to avoid from not doing a podcast recording for Thursday, not bringing you an episode for Thursday. That is what I wanted to avoid by not making my bed that day or making my bed that day. Cause I could have very easily been like, I'm sick. I don't want to do it. And then, like that bitch voice is telling you in your mind, like, it's okay, Amy, you're right. You're sick. You deserve this. You earned it. Like, you're just going to get back into your bed anyways. And I was like, fuck you, bitch voice. I'm making my fucking bed today. I might feel like shit, but I'm going to make my bed today. The same with this podcast recording. Like, okay, life, I'm going to throw some curveballs at me. Awesome. Fuck you. Okay. Because I'm going to do all of this anyways. And I love that. That is so empowering. That is so fulfilling for me, and the episode's not perfect. There was a leaf blower in the background, and that's okay because I've never done this before. I've never done an episode on the fly like this before in an uncontrolled environment. And that builds resilience. So how do you pivot? How do you shift? Like, how do you make that okay? How do you overcome and accomplish overcome the obstacles and still accomplish your goals? So you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations. Is it comfortable for me to do a podcast recording in the hotel room while Brad's helping Olivia, do homeschool downstairs? No, this isn't super comfortable, but I'm doing the uncomfortable thing because it's important to me to stick with this. So I want you to understand that the little decisions that you make every single day add up to your entire life. The little choices you make each second, each minute, each hour, each day, each week, each month, each year, that then becomes your entire life. So when you have a decision in front of you right now, how are you going to react to it? If you have a decision in 5 minutes, how are you going to react to it? If you have a decision in an hour, how are you going to react to it? Are you going to react negatively or are you going to react positively? Are you going to do the hard thing and make a healthy choice? Or are you going to do the easy thing and make the unhealthy choice? Because every time you make a decision, every time you make a movement, a choice, an action, all of that adds up to your life, to the whole big picture. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the woman that's the hot mess. I don't want to be the woman that's making unhealthy choices and enabling bad behavior. And I want to be the mom that has her shit together, at least for the most part. I want to be the mom that my kids can look up to. I want to be the mom that gets faced with these obstacles in front of her and crushes them to set her family up for success. I don't want to be the mom that falls down wallowing in self-pity. I want to be the mom that pulls herself up out of the trenches and does the challenging things. I want to be that role model for my daughters. I want to be that role model for myself. I want my identity to be that person that does challenging things and overcomes those obstacles. So here I am recording in Seattle and recording in the hotel room because it's important to me. It's important to me to not give up and to not quit and to not scale back, to keep moving forward. So thank you for understanding today that we didn't have an interview episode. Thank you for sharing it for me. Monday's episode was very raw, very vulnerable, and I had some very positive feedback from it. And I thank all of you who reach out and support this community. So again, thank you for your patience on this Thursday. And please, if you found value in this, please just share this with your other mama friends, post it on your social media. It really helps me get the word out there. Thank you so much for listening today, sweet mama. I look forward to talking to you all again very soon.